Welcome back to Broken Bobby's Transformation Page. If you are new to the page, in 1990 I became involved in the drug gang world. From 92 to '06, I spent a lot of time incarcerated. I tell these stories to let you know it don't have to be you. If you're young and thinking about trying something or you're figuring out how to get out, these are my stories of this lifestyle and how it affected me, and eventually I got out and transformed my life. So let's get into today's story. So let's get into today's video. Now we're going to do the Q&A session, and unfortunately there was only one question asked. This is the question from, I hope I'm saying this correctly, Tai Kai 3BP. What was the highest custody level you reached? Okay, so let me give you the complete rundown on the highest custody level I reached and how I got there. This will be the briefer session of what happened. I can get into a lot of these other stories later. But so I arrived at Delano, North Kern State Prison in late 04. And it was the reception yard. And I went and eventually seen the correctional counselor, who told me that I had 19 points, which was level 1. Which, okay, so this should be easy time. I can do my little bid here and get back to the streets and hopefully fix some things. At this point, I don't know, because my life was a mess and I was heading in the wrong direction. I told the story about how I wrote the letter to my wife and she told her to move on, and she told me I was stupid. So I appreciate her and shout out to her for that. Love you, baby. So level 1 points. I'm waiting to see where I'm going to transfer back to. And they tell me I'm going to McFarland, which is a CCF. And I get on the transportation van, not even a bus, because it's just a little ways down the road. And they drop me off at Delano CCF. And I'm a bit confused by this. I'm like, hey, I'm not supposed to be going here. And he tells me to shut the fuck up and get off the bus. Those transportation officers are a different breed, I swear. But, okay, so I get off the bus there. I come in, hit the mini yard. Well, I'm coming across the mini yard to my housing location, bedroll in hand, and I notice all the woods are grouped up, and I'm like, oh boy, this don't look good. So long story short, riot kicks off. So I'm there for a short period of time. Within a day or two, I'm on a bus, and now I'm heading to McFarland, where I was originally supposed to go. Now, Delano CCF was considered the lowest level of custody you could go to. It's almost like a camp type of thing. So now they send me to McFarland MCCF, which is right off Highway 99 in McFarland, California, just outside of Delano. And this is considered a higher level of CCF, basically. It's got the double gate, which is more consistent with a level 2. And I'm good there for a while. I'm programming, but there is tension. There always seems to be tension. The thing with these lower level yards is there's not a lot of organization. There's not really any heavy hitters. Well, there aren't no heavy hitters there. Let's just keep it real. It's a bunch of people with really short time, like a year or less typically. And everybody's going home, but everybody at the same time is running around playing grab ass. And, there's not much structure. So eventually, after a couple of months being here, it kicks off there. So now I'm being transferred out again. And this is where I hit the highest level of custody on a mainline GP that I ever hit. I end up on a level 3, back over at North Kern State Prison. So I've done the full circle now. Like I came out, practically went across the street. They sent me down the road a ways. Shit was just cracking during that period. It was really active. And so now I'm back on the level 3 Delano. I believe it was E yard. I believe A yard was the 1 yard there. If anybody's been there on that level 3, drop a comment and let me know, because you know, I did a lot of drugs in my lifetime and my memory's a little hazy. You know, so I land on Delano level 3, cell living, and you know, I come in and I get settled in my cell, and what I'm told by my cellie is it's war. We are involved in a war with the black population. So something to take note of with wars on these upper levels is, even though you're locked in your cell, it's one up, one down. What I mean by that is, if one's laying down, one's standing by the door. And during normal program hours, you keep your shoes on. Even though you're not supposed to be leaving the cell, it's been known for doors to just mysteriously pop. I think that the correctional officers need some entertainment sometimes, and they will pop the doors of warring factions just to see what's going to happen. And if your door pops and the faction that you're at war with is out on the tier, then it's go time. It's war. So you have to go and get your money. And, you know, we had weapons in our cell, and if that door popped, you had to go and use them. Otherwise, you know, they had weapons as well. So, you know, it gets real personal in these types of things, because if 3 of the opposition are out and you're out by yourself, it ain't no fair one. They're coming after you with weapons, and you're going to do the same. So, like I've said in previous videos, you're always trying to put that demo down. Like, you want everybody, because everybody's watching. A door pops, everybody's up on their door and they're watching what's going on out there. And last thing you want to do is be labeled a coward and run away from one of those situations. So even if it's 2 or 3 on 1, it's go time. Get your money. So that is, like I said, level 3 was the highest level of mainline custody I ever got to. Eventually, I would end up in ADSEG at Delano, and there was an incident that I was involved in with an individual who liked children a little bit too much. And we'll save that video for another day. But yeah, that one is coming. At some point, I will drop that video and let you know exactly what happened there. But yeah, I was in ADSEG for a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and my parole date was already coming. So they didn't pick up any charges, any outside charges on that. And I had put in several requests because I was on probation in LA, San Bernardino, and Riverside all at the same time. I took my commitment out of LA County, and I tried to put in requests for dismissals of the probation in the other counties, but I never got a response from anybody. So when I was due to parole, they put me back on the Riverside County Sheriff's bus, came and got me and several other people that were wanted down there. So from People I've talked to, though, I will say this: on the higher level yards, like people I know that have been on level 4s, level 4 180s, and even into the SHU program, the secure housing unit, uh, everything is extreme on these levels. And even on the 3, like I never got to go out and function on the yard there, but everything is extreme. It's extreme respect and it's extreme violence. So that's where sticking to your organization will keep you out of wrecks. And it's not just other organizations that'll wreck you, your own people will get you. So, this is the reality of prison. When I went back down to Riverside County, I will say this: all of a sudden, a lot of the younger Woods wanted to talk to me because I had been to prison already, and some of them were heading that way. So I was able to game up some youngsters on what to expect, which was probably the only positive that came out of that. I went back down. I go to court. I'm telling the judge, hey, I just left prison. Can we just dismiss this thing? And of course, no, they had to hold it off for like 2 more weeks. And like I was just really anxious to hit the streets. So I hope I answered your question, Tai Kai 3BP, and I appreciate your question. And I hope in the future I'll have more questions to answer on these Q&As. Family, fitness, and freedom were the things that set me free. And you can do it too. Don't look at the mountain, just start climbing.